Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. I hope you're having a good day. I'm having a good day and I'm doing a full face of Maybelline today. Now I've got a few products here that I haven't tried yet. I don't think they're necessarily new stuff, but I'm going to give them a go and see how I go and how I like the products. I got everything from Kohl's. Who knew? I knew they had some stuff at Kohl's, like makeup wise, but the Kohl's I went to they actually had a lot of stuff, so I was very impressed. So I'm going to tell you how much everything cost. I do have a few things of my own that I've already tried and tested. And yeah, second of all, before I get started, I have something rather exciting. I have a camera. I have a proper camera. I just haven't got the setup for it to do videos and stuff just yet, but I have a new camera. Well, it's not new. It's actually was very, very kindly gifted to me by a close family friend of ours, and I could not be more grateful. So keep in tune with the fancy new camera. Guys, this is awesome. I'm going up in the world. Okay, so I'm going to start with a couple of my own products that I've used before, and the first one is primer. I have the Maybelline Face Studio Prime. This is the pore minimalizing primer, and I'm just going to pop this on my face. Alright, so I know I already like this primer. It's a good primer. It does what it's supposed to do. It does really minimize my pores across my nose and just here under my eyes. Would highly recommend. Next product is also something I've used before, and it is a foundation. It is the Fit Me, I think it is Fit Me, yep. Matte and Poreless foundation, and it's in the shade 115 Ivory, and I'm just going to pop this all over my face. Alright, foundation is done. Actually, it's not a bad match for me today in this light. Usually it looks quite pale for me in the bright light, but it actually matches fairly good. Alright, so concealer. I have a concerning feeling the concealer is a bit dark, but we're going to give it a go. This is, again, a Fit Me product. It's their concealer, and it's in the shade 15 Light. Let's open her up and give it a go. I have to say, that packaging was actually really easy to open. Put some on this rather alarming pimple, if you guys can see that too. Okay, it's a bit dark. Okay, it's very dark. I'm just going to do a little bit just to test it. This is more of my shade of foundation, really. It's maybe a little bit yellow. It is far too dark as a concealer for me, but it was the lightest shade they had, at least the lightest shade they had in stock. But I mean, I can still use it as a foundation. It's still going to work. It's just not going to work as a concealer. And it blended nicely. I know I didn't use as much as I usually would, but it did blend out nicely. It is a medium coverage, so it worked. Okay, next, another Fit Me product. Another Fit Me product is their Matte and Poreless powder. It's in the shade 220 Neutral Beige. Again, I think this was the lightest one they had in stock. They didn't have like a translucent one or anything, which I suppose is what you get for shopping at Kohl's. Oh, I haven't been saying how much everything was. Okay, so the concealer, where is the concealer? Okay, so the concealer was $9, but most things were actually on special when I actually happened to go in there. So I paid $9 for the concealer, and then the powder, I paid $9.50. So it's an alright shade. Let's open her up. Can I open you? Oh, it's got a sticker. Oh, and it comes with a mirror, a little sponge thing. I'm not going to use that, but it looks like an alright shade actually. Where's my brush? Let's pop some of this on. Does it make me go yellow? Am I oxidizing? Or is it just yellowy shade. I think it might just be a yellowy shade. And I don't think I've blended very well up here, but anyway. I mean, as a powder, I mean, it worked. What can you say about powder? I mean, it either does the job or it doesn't. It seems to have done the job. Obviously, you have to do a wear test to figure out how it wears. But yeah, so far so good. Next product is a bronzer. Again, I don't know if this is going to be my shade because I wanted to use it as a contour, but we'll see. This is the City Bronzer. It's a bronzer and contour powder. And this is in the shade 200 Medium Cool. Let's get it out of the packaging. Oh, this packaging is so easy to open. Usually I'm struggling to open any sort of packaging, but this has just been so good to me. So big tick for me. I got a little, alright, that is the shade. Oh, it's definitely more of a bronzy color. I think it does have a bit of a shimmer to it. Yeah, it does. So I'm just going to use it as a bronzer real quick. Alright, I've just given it a light dusting all over. It is a very light, I need the mirror. It is a very light shade. It is working, especially up on my forehead. It's not, it's almost a contour shade for me, but not quite. And I don't think you can, I mean, I'm sure you could use a shimmery shade as a contour, but I think it sort of defeats the purpose of a contour. So it's not quite working as a contour, but as a bronzer, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Probably won't keep it. This sort of thing isn't, I mean, maybe I will keep it. I don't have a shimmery bronzer. I don't know. I'll see how I feel and then I'll go from there. Right. Blush. Yes, this is a blush. This is another Fit Me product. This is in the shade 15 Nude. It was literally the only blush they had left in stock. So let's have a look. It looks maybe a little bit shimmery. Yes, okay, so it is actually quite shimmery. I don't know how much that's going to pick up on camera, but I'm going to pop some on my face. And I'm not going to do it in my usual sort of sweeping. I'm just going to sort of put it on the apple of my cheeks because I think shimmery brush, at least for me, going across here just doesn't look very nice. So I'm just going to pop some on the apples of my cheeks. That is actually so pretty. You can see the shimmer, I think. I just don't know how well the colour's coming up on camera, but it is a really nice sort of subtle nude sort of blush colour. It's actually quite nice. I'm really liking this. I'm not usually a shimmery blush kind of girl. It's not bad. Okay, so the blush was $8.50 and the bronzer, where's the bronzer? Oh, that was $9. And highlighter is next. So the highlighter, which I think is that one, was $10.50. So far the most expensive thing. Again, they didn't have a lot of shades in stock. Again, it's Kohl's. I sort of have to expect that. Oh, this is in the shade, oh sorry, I didn't even tell you what it was. Oh, it is the City, no, that's the bronzer. I don't want the bronzer. This is the Master Chrome Metallic Highlighter in the shade 100 Molten Gold. So I have a feeling it might be a bit dark for me. I'm having a lot of that. How does this work? How do you open? I'm having a lot of trouble with this one. So that is the shade. It is a goldy colour, funny enough. I'm going to put some, ooh, I think that's going to be far too dark for me, but let's pop a bit on and see how we go. As for the shade, I really like it. And I don't think it's too dark. I feel like my light rings off. This side seems darker than usual. But anyway, I don't think it's too dark. I don't think it's casting a line. I think if I put any more on, it probably would, but I like the colour. I really like that. Okay, so brows are next. I already have this little powder brow pro palette thing, but I totally forgot about it while I was at the shops. So I got another brow product. This is the Express Brow Ultra Slim Pencil. It's in the shade 250 Blonde. I think this was the second lightest. But then they only had like deep brown after that, so I went for this one, and it cost me $8.50. I've tried this before in a video, so I think I'll try the new one today. And it is very slim, this little pencil. Alright, so on one end you have a little spoolie, and then on the other it's a twistier crayon one. I find I don't often get along with these sorts of things. What was the shade? Was it just blonde? I think it was just blonde. Alright, well let's just see how we go with this. See if I can get along with it. It's really not my shade. But I sort of expected that. I don't know, it's a bit too cool toned for me, I think. And I just don't get along with this sort of thing. I mean, it's alright for filling in your brows, but for anything else, it's not, I don't know, it's just not for me. But in the little palette, this is the Master Brow Pro palette in the shade Deep Brown. There's a little brown setting wax, so I might just run my spoolie in there and put it on my brows just to set them and see if I can fix the colour. For some reason, like, they're just, why do they look so bad now? I'm so bad at my brows for some reason. As a product, it's not bad. Obviously, it doesn't match me, and it's not really the sort of thing that I enjoy using. But as a product, it does work. Yeah, what more can I say? My brows are terrible. I'm just going to take all my makeup off after the video anyway, so I'm just going to leave them as they are. Now, I was going to do eyeshadow next. I have this shadow palette. This is the Lemonade Craze palette. And I actually forgot that I had that too, so I bought another eyeshadow palette. This is the Burgundy Bar eyeshadow palette, and it cost me $14.50. Now, let me take it out of the... I don't know what it is about this, but it just seems... Oh, if I can get it out of the box, that would be helpful. I don't know what it is, but this seems just like a cheap bottom of the barrel palette. Now, if you love this, I'm not trying to take the piss or anything, this is just my opinion. It just looks cheap and it looks nasty, but I'm going to give it a go, and if I can't do it, I'll use my other palette. Let's get through the security sticky stuff. Oh, okay, so they're pretty much all shimmery shades except for these two here. These are the only matte shades, I think. Yeah, they're all shimmers otherwise. And it sort of has the same sort of feel as this one, because this one was quite cheap as well. Yeah, it just has the same sort of feel, the same sort of quality. I'm sure it's a fine palette. That's not anything, you know, I'm not trying to be nasty or anything. There's actually two shades there. Obviously you can see the reddish one, but then there is a gold one here as well. Let's give it a go. I'm going to start with the lighter matte shade and just chuck it all over my lid. I need to wash my brushes, so yeah, that's why there's orange on this one. Oh, and I would have primed my eyes, but I couldn't find an eye primer. I'm sure Maybelline would do one, but there just wasn't one in the selection that I had access to, so I got to give the shadows a little bit of leeway here in how they, I'm not even using the right brush, but that's okay. It wasn't bad. Nothing spectacular, but it is just a starting colour. I am a little bit nervous to go in for this really dark shade, but I think I'm just going to give it a go and sort of run it, well, not run it through my crease, but create a crease of my own and blend everything out. Okay, this is bad. There wasn't a lot of colour payoff for that dark shade. You probably would have seen I kept having to dip into it to get any sort of colour. And now, again, this could just be because I'm not wearing an eye primer or anything, but it is very patchy. And it's just, I don't know, it's just going everywhere. There's lots of fallout. It's not blending very nicely. It's not great. Not great. And if there's one thing I hate, it's not having good eyeshadow. Or at least decent eyeshadow. So I'm just going to try and fix this a little bit. Let's see how I go. Alright guys, I think it's, yeah. For me right now, this is beyond fixing. I'm just going to pick a shimmer shade on a brush, pick a shimmer shade and stick it on my lid. I think I might go for this one that I did the swatch of. This little reddy purpley one, and see how that goes. I've already done one eye and I'm already forgiven. Wow, that looks weird. Oh, probably because I have my eye up. Everything is forgiven. These shimmers are beautiful. They're applying really nicely and I haven't put any setting spray on my brush. It looks terrible because of the crappy base colours, but that shimmer, it's really nice. I'm going to use maybe a little bit of this white colour up here, this white shimmer, to put on in the inner corners. Let me just find the brush. I don't know how well you'll be able to see that, but it's working. These shimmers are really nice. The shimmers have saved this palette. See the I can't think of the word now. The matte shades in this one, I mean, they do work. And for all I know, the two mattes in here work if my eyes were primed correctly. But those shimmers, I'm thoroughly impressed. So it does look like I've sort of put it underneath my eyes a little bit. So there is a little bit of fallout. But again, I didn't spray my brush with setting spray. So, whew. Okay, so eyeliner. The only shade they had was black. They had a lot of liquid liners, but again, that's not really my thing. And I could test it for you, but I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't want to try and test something and give you an opinion of it if I don't know what I'm doing. So that's why I bought a creamy pencil liner. This is the Master Liner in the shade 24H Black. Let's get into it and have a look. Alright, looks pretty simple. It's just a little liner. I'm going to try and do, if I can, on my upper waterline. See how that goes. No, it definitely works. Let me put it on my lower lash line just purely to test it. Okay, so you might be thinking there's not a lot of color payoff here, but that's because I'm using it really, really lightly. As you can see, I have used it on my hand, and it does work if you're pushing hard enough. Obviously it's going to work. I'm just using it very, very lightly just to get a little bit of color, just to see if it does work. And it does. It works. Hello, Pepper. Come here. Can you say hello? Oh, hello. You're nice and warm. We've been sitting in the sun. You've been sitting in the sun. Say hello. Alright, off you go. Good girl. Anyway, after that distraction, eyeliner is done. I've just put a little bit on because I don't usually wear black eyeliner there anymore. Just because it makes my eyes look small, but it works. Right, the last product that is new for me is this one, the mascara. Did I tell you how much the thingy was? I'm gonna guess the eyeliner was $7 and the mascara was $13. So this was the most, no, hang on. The eyeshadow was the most expensive and this was next up. So this is the Falsies Lash Lift Mascara in the shade Blackest Black. Dramatic length, volume and lift. So it's saying it does everything that you want a mascara to do. I can't get this open. I like the packaging actually. It's all nice and shiny and silver, and then this bit's, purple. Let's have a look at the wand. Oh, yeah. So it's a bristly wand shaped like a peanut. Let's give it a go. I'm quite impressed. At first I was like, but it did everything for me. There's definitely some length, it's colouring them, there's definitely more volume for me. There is a little bit of lift, but I think I would obviously achieve more if I used a eyelash curler, which, funnily enough, is actually sitting right in front of me and I still forgot to use it. Okay, so the last three products are mine. I'm hoping that the lip liner and lipstick are going to match, but I have this lip liner. This is the Colour Sensational Shaping Lip Liner in the shade 160 Red Wine, and it looks like that, this one here. So I'm gonna line my lips and hope I don't mess it up. I've seriously overlined my lips and I do not know how the hell I did that. Like, really? Anyway, I think I've tested this before, but I don't remember. It's creamy, it works well, there's a lot of colour payoff. There we go, thumbs up. And lastly, I have a lipstick. I can't remember what it was called. This is in the shade, it was literally the closest thing I had to this lip liner colour, so I went with it. It's in the shade 660 Touch of Spice. It's like a very nudie colour. I'm gonna pop some on. I think I've used this before. It looks like I've used it before, but I don't remember. Okay, so it doesn't match the lip liner, but it is very matte, so I'm just gonna try and cover the lip liner a little bit. My lips look huge. Yeah, so obviously it doesn't match the lip liner. I've just tried to blend it in a little bit. My lips look huge, but I promise you they are not. Yeah, the lipstick has worked really well. It's a nice matte shade. I've got it on my teeth. That's a handy trick if you ever want to know to stop lipstick getting on your teeth. Just do that. I know that looks rather provocative, but it's not, trust me. It takes all the lipstick and stuff off the inside of your lips, so it's not touching your teeth. Anyway, lastly, I have a setting spray. This is the Glass Spray Makeup Finishing Spray for a hydrated look and a dewy finish. And this is what I'm using all the time at the moment because the spray on this is so fine. It is just ridiculously fine. I'm just noticing sometimes you can't really see my chin. I needed to contour my chin a little bit, but oh well. Anyway, setting my face. It's just so good. Right. This is my full face with Maybelline. Was this the one that was requested? I think it might have been Revolution that was requested, but it was one of the two. The Revolution one's probably going to be next. So, keep in tune. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If I've got a lot more like full face using one brand sort of videos in my head. I've got a few things written down. See how we go. If you guys want me to do anything specifically other than Revolution, because that's coming, then yeah, please let me know down below. Hit the like button if you liked it. Hit the subscribe button if you would like to, and hit the bell button if you want to while you're there. I mean, I'm not going to complain. I will be very, very thankful if you do, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.